The Galactic Council believed they had won. After years of arguments, pressure, and fear, they finally pushed humanity out of the galactic community. With one final vote, Earth was exiled. The Council expected humans to break, to cry, to beg for forgiveness. But nothing like that happened. Instead, humanity went silent, completely silent, and that silence scared many more than any threat. From a distance, the Council members watched Earth's ships leave the trade routes, disappear from known space, and cut all diplomatic ties. To them, this silence meant surrender. To them, humans were finished. But they were wrong. Very wrong. In the shadows of their home system, humanity was preparing something the galaxy never expected. The humans were not broken. They were thinking, planning, building. Their exile had not defeated them. It had awakened something inside them. Something old. Something powerful. Rumors began to spread across nearby star systems. Cargo traders whisper about strange energy spikes around Earth. Patrol ships claim to have seen massive shapes moving in the dark, too big to be normal ships. But every report was dismissed by the Council. Humans cannot build anything dangerous, they repeated. They're emotional, chaotic, weak. Yet deep inside the Council chamber, a few members felt a cold fear. They remembered humanity's history, how humans survived disasters, wars, and extinction again and again. If anyone was capable of rising after exile, it was them. Still, no one expected what would come next, because in the silent darkness of space, humanity's greatest creation was waking up. A fleet built in secret, engines that shook the void, warships that should not exist. And soon, the galaxy would learn that exiling humanity was the biggest mistake they had ever made. While the galaxy celebrated humanity's exile, Earth was working in absolute secrecy. No transmissions, no trade, no signs of weakness. Humanity had vanished from every official star map, but inside their borders, something massive was happening. Hidden far beyond normal travel lanes, in the dark side of Neptune's orbit, a giant structure floated silently. It was not a station. It was not a colony. It was a factory, a colossal black ring the size of a small moon. No alien species had ever seen it, because humanity built it after they were exiled. And inside this ring, Earth was creating something the galaxy believed humans were too primitive to make. Commander Elise Varen, head of Project Horizon, stood on a glass platform watching enormous machines assemble a warship that defied logic. The ship's armor absorbed all light. Its engines used energy signatures unknown to any alien scanner. Its hull markings were unlike any human design ever recorded. This ship was not built for exploration. It was built for return. For years, humanity had listened to the Council call them weak, emotional, unstable. But in their exile, humans studied every alien technology the Council banned them from using. They combined it with their own ingenuity and created something new, something the galaxy was not ready for. Whispers spread even among humans. Some engineers called the ship the Revenant. Others called it the Silent Crown. But its official name was simple. EX-01, humanity's first conquest-class dreadnought. As its engines activated for the first time, the entire factory shook. Space itself trembled as if waking from sleep. Commander Elise felt her heart race. Humanity had just crossed a line that could never be undone. The galaxy thought humans were gone, but humanity was preparing a return so powerful it would change the stars forever. The galaxy had nearly forgotten about Earth. The Council had convinced them all that humanity was no threat anymore. But that was about to change. One calm, quiet night, the first sign of humanity's return came without warning. A dark shadow appeared on the edge of the outer rim. No ships had passed through this area for years, and the area was known to be empty. But the shadow grew larger, slowly taking shape. It wasn't just one ship. It was a fleet, but unlike any fleet the galaxy had ever seen. A single ship, massive and sleek, led the way. It wasn't a simple warship. It was the X-01, the Revenant. Its engines glowed with an eerie blue light as it sliced through space, leaving a trail of energy in its wake. Behind it, dozens of smaller ships, the same dark color, followed in perfect formation. They move as one, a perfect, terrifying display of power. Across the galaxy, alarms began to sound. The Council had not yet realized what was happening. Ships were scrambling in panic, but it was too late. Humanity's warships didn't make contact with any major fleet. They didn't need to. Their mere presence was enough to send shockwaves across the galaxy. In one fell swoop, Earth had shown that they had not only survived their exile, but had grown stronger. The first planet they targeted was an unassuming mining world. The people there had never seen a human before. Before they could even send a warning, the X-01 and its fleet fired a single concentrated energy blast that turned the entire planet's surface to ash. No explosions, no missiles, just pure, clean destruction. News spread fast. Humanity was back, and they were here to take what they had been denied. The galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The destruction of the mining world spread across the galaxy faster than light-speed news channels could handle. Every major species woke up to the same horrifying headline: Unknown fleet destroys planet in single strike. But it didn't remain unknown for long. A patrol station on the edge of Council space intercepted a transmission, short, cold, and unmistakably human. X-01 reporting. Humanity has returned. Prepare yourselves. The moment the message played in the council chamber, the room fell silent. Representatives who once laughed at humans now felt their hearts freeze. Even the strongest empires suddenly felt small. Admiral Crunther of the Varn Dominion slammed his claws on the table. This must be a bluff. Humans cannot build such power. But deep down, everyone knew the truth. Humanity had always been unpredictable, emotional, and adaptive. If pushed too far, they always came back stronger. Across the galaxy, fleets scrambled into action. Ships were pulled from borders, patrol units recalled, reserves activated. But even with all their forces combined, there was a problem. None of their sensors could read the human ships. The X-01 and its fleet moved like shadows, appearing and disappearing across systems without warning. Alien detection grids flickered and died whenever the dreadnought approached. It was as if the humans were rewriting the rules of space itself. Panic spread among civilians. Some worlds began evacuations. Others attempted to form their own alliances, hoping the Council could stop the human advance. But no one had a plan. No one knew where the humans would strike next. Inside the Council chamber, fear turned into desperation. Leaders argued, shouted, blamed each other, and demanded action, but no one had answers. Because humanity was not attacking for resources. They were not attacking for revenge. They were attacking to take their place among the stars, by force. And the galaxy knew the worst was yet to come. The galaxy was now on edge. The X-01's fleet had already leveled one world, and humanity's power was undeniable. The Council had called upon every major power in the galaxy, and an alliance was formed in a desperate attempt to stop Earth's unstoppable advance. Fleets gathered, warships lined up, and the greatest minds in the galaxy came together. They believed they could finally defeat humanity's fleet. But Earth's strategy was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Humanity's warships didn't simply overpower their enemies, they outsmarted them. In the cold void of space, the greatest battle the galaxy had ever witnessed began. Council forces rushed to meet humanity head-on. Thousands of ships formed a wall of firepower, hoping to crush Earth's threat in one mighty blow. But humanity's fleet was nowhere to be seen. The Council expected an immediate, full-scale attack, but humanity's warships didn't follow the expected path. Instead, they split into smaller groups, each ship moving in perfect sync, each avoiding the enemy's traps and counterattacks. Then, out of nowhere, the first strike came. The X-01, hidden in a nearby asteroid field, emerged at full speed, cutting to the lines of alien ships with precision, in one motion. The massive dreadnought fired a powerful energy beam that sliced through 3 enemy warships like butter. The beam wasn't a simple weapon. It was an ancient form of energy, designed to melt through the toughest defenses. Humanity's fleet followed suit, attacking from multiple directions, overwhelming the Council forces. It was chaos, but the humans were calm. With each shot, each maneuver, They proved they were the superior force. The Council's alliance crumbled. The combined fleets were no match for humanity's cunning and raw power. When the battle finally ended, humanity stood victorious, their fleet untouched. The galaxy had underestimated Earth. And now, it would never make that mistake again. With the last of the Council's forces scattered and broken, the galaxy stood in stunned silence. Humanity, the species once exiled and forgotten, had shattered the power structures of the known universe. Their warships, their strength, their strategy, they had proven that Earth was no longer just a planet to be pushed around. Earth had become a force that could not be ignored. Admiral Crunter, now a prisoner of humanity's fleet, stared out into the vast void of space. His eyes were wide with disbelief. "This cannot be happening," he muttered. But it was happening. Humanity had won, and they had done so with precision, intelligence, and sheer will. The X-01 led the charge as Earth's flagship, slowly entering the center of the galaxy's most important space station, the one place that had once been a symbol of the galaxy's united power. Now, it would serve as the new seat of humanity's rule. The station's lights flickered as a human dreadnought made its presence known. The message was clear. Humanity had returned, and they were here to stay. But the humans didn't seek to destroy everything they touched. Their victory wasn't just about vengeance. It was about control. They knew that in order to rule the stars, they had to rebuild them. They had to establish a new order, one where humanity's values, strength, unity, and determination would guide the galaxy. The leaders of the galaxy, those who had once rejected Earth, were summoned to a grand meeting. They were given two choices: accept humanity's rise, or face the consequences. The time for war had ended. The time for peace, with humanity at the helm, had begun. As the Council dissolved, a new age of exploration and dominance began, one where humanity would not just survive, but thrive. And the stars would now know who truly ruled them.